The 2015 Montana legislature is over.
Lawmakers finished up early this morning, leaving one key infrastructure bill on the House floor. MTN's Sanjay Talwani reviews what was accomplished.
Democrats claimed victory Tuesday as lawmakers left Helena.
Montanans should be proud of what we accomplished.
A couple of the biggest debates of the session ended in legislation Democrats unanimously supported with help from some Republicans. Bills like Medicaid expansion, the Flathead Water Compact, and a campaign finance package. Conservative Republicans opposed all three with major concerns about Medicaid.
We just accepted another, $600 million in federal funding, which, you can argue is free federal money. I argue it's more debt around our kids' necks. I think there were serious legal issues with the CSKT Water Compact. That isn't to say the tribe isn't entitled to a water compact. I believe they are.
Both sides declared victory on House Bill 2, the main budget bill.
The state budget, I think, came out and is absolutely as good a shape as I've seen it come out in the 3 sessions I've been here.
On the last day, House conservatives voted down a key infrastructure bill that could have authorized $150 million in public projects.
I think the Republicans are feeling pretty good about themselves right now. I'm disappointed to not see any help go out to eastern Montana for the Bakken, but at the same time, I do appreciate the fact that we haven't added $100 million more in state debt.
It was supported by overwhelming majorities in both chambers. I am disappointed that a small and extreme faction of the House blocked the passage.
I think that this very clearly shows that communities are going to have to be dependent upon themselves. They've recognized that they cannot be relying on the state, no more than the state can be reliant on the federal government.
Governor Bullock didn't rule out calling a special session, bringing lawmakers back to continue work on an infrastructure bill. At the Capitol, Sanjay Talwani, MTN News.
Well, Senate Bill 411 is on its way to the governor's desk. The bill would close the Montana Developmental Center in Boulder and transfer most of its patients to community-based health facilities. Those against the proposed action are making a last attempt at advocating why NDC should keep its doors open. Montana's largest labor union hosted a phone conference today where patients and concerned citizens expressed their opposition to Senate Bill 411. Proponents of the bill say MDC is a waste of taxpayer dollars, deeming the institution unsafe for its 50 residents because of reported incidents of sexual abuse. But opponents acknowledge those abuse cases but call them isolated and not worth painting an overall negative image of the facility. MEA-MFT plans on presenting a compilation of testimony to the governor's office by the end of this week. When it comes to nice spring days, it doesn't get any better than this. Storm tracker meteorologist Mike Rollins is usually stuck inside tracking our weather.
Yeah, but today he gets to step outside and enjoy the warm temperatures. I am a little bit jealous. Mike, hope you didn't forget the sunscreen. We always talk about that.
Yeah, sunscreen a big concern this time of the year, especially if you have red hair, fair skin like myself. It is warm out here, though, a beautiful afternoon. I just measured 76 degrees here outside in Black Eagle. We're on the north side of Great Falls. Let's get you to the maps. We'll show you it's 75 right now at Great Falls International Airport. We've got 74 at Malmstrom, and temperatures all across north central Montana are in the 70s. Not a single spot at this hour here in the 60s, so it is pretty nice out here. We've got a lot of sunshine, just a gorgeous afternoon and a gorgeous evening ahead of us as well. Temperatures are going to be falling through the 60s. Still at 8 o'clock, we're going to be at 67 degrees. By 10 o'clock, just below 60, and then overnight we'll slip down into the 40s. Overall, very nice weather. So take advantage of it, get outside. The good news is it's not going to be changing dramatically between today and tomorrow, but it is going to be getting cooler. I'm tracking a cold front on the way. I'll be back in the Weather Center to show you when that cold front arrives coming up in just a few minutes. Tim, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. We'll see you then. Flags mark the route around the VA Montana campus today, where walkers gathered to honor victims of military sexual trauma. The walk was organized as part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month in April. It looks to highlight the fact that incidents of sexual assault do occur within the military and that victims have sources of hope and healing at VA Montana. While assistance can be found through physicians and others who work professionally with victims, today's message was also about finding strength through others who have shared similar experiences.
By honoring them and listening to them, that starts them on the path to recovery. Our main purpose is to make it easier for people to say, hey, this happened to me.
We've had a number of victims now that have come forward with really poignant stories about what happened to them and what it's done to them and how to recover from that, which is so powerful.
Veterans looking for more information on military sexual trauma services can speak to their VA primary care provider or check out further resources at krtv.com.
The victim from Sunday's fatal crash in Choteau County has been identified. 46-year-old Patrick Joseph Buckman Jr. of Harlem died on Sunday after he overcorrected his vehicle twice before rolling off the road. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, the incident happened near Big Sandy around 3 in the afternoon. He and a female passenger were taken to Big Sandy Medical Center. The female passenger was airlifted to Benefice in Great Falls. Buckman was supposed to be flown out as well, but died beforehand. It's unknown if alcohol was a factor in the crash.
The owners of a Fergus County game farm have been fined for several violations, including unlawful possession of game animals. 71-year-old Ivan Bowman and 56-year-old Jana Bowman are also accused of incomplete record keeping, unlawfully allowing wild animals to enter their game farm, and fencing violations. Ivan Bowman was fined nearly $4,000 and received a 6-month suspended sentence. He's also forced to forfeit his hunting, fishing, and trapping privileges for 5 years. Janet Bowman was fined $1,500. Wildlife officials say the Bowmans, among other violations, captured wild elk and allowed paid hunting for the animals, a practice that was outlawed in 2000. Under the plea agreement, the Bowmans agreed to shut down their game farm, which was the 3rd largest in the state. The Montana Highway Patrol and the Department of Transportation are working to make our roads safer by reminding drivers to move over. Officers, firefighters, construction workers, and tow truck operators are constantly in danger while working on the side of a busy highway or interstate. Back in December, we told you about the Move Over law in Montana. Signs will be put up around the state, including 5 in north central Montana. These signs are being posted by the DOT and will state a reminder for drivers to slow down to at least 20 miles below the posted speed limit in the case of an emergency vehicle on the roadways. 2 will be posted near Great Falls on I-15. 1 northbound towards Shelby at mile marker 286, the other southbound towards Helena at mile marker 276. A 3rd will be placed near the Canadian border near Sunburst. The last 2 will be near Wolf Point. Signs will also be posted near Missoula, Kalispell, Butte, Bozeman, Glendive, Miles City, and Billings.
180 traffic education educators from across the state, nation, and city are learning more about how to keep Montanans safe on the road. Great Falls has played host to the annual Montana Traffic Conference. The large variety of speakers discuss what educators should be doing both in the classroom and the car to make sure drivers are prepared for the roads. However, there's one factor that has some members of the organization concerned about future drivers enrolling in courses.
Costs continue to rise, and one of the things we are concerned about is trying to keep those costs reasonable to our families and our students that are taking that. And that's always a challenge at the local level. We continue to try to do some things legislatively to help bring that forward, to make this more accessible to all students so that we can produce some safe drivers that go out on the roadways.
The conference started Sunday. It ended today. There will be another conference come springtime. We'll still